Hello, my name is YJ Arciaga. I'm an undergraduate researcher for the SURE program of West Virginia University. I am here to present my research on mastery-based grading. Before we begin, I'd like to thank my SURE mentor, Dr. Vicki Sealey, for her guidance, mentorship, and commitment to my research experience. I also like to thank my secondary mentor, Professor Krista Bressock, for helping and providing me further research experience in mathematics education. I also like to thank Dr. David Miller for helping me with LSM to fund my research. Lastly, I'd like to thank LSM for their continuous supports for minorities with their research experience and careers. To begin with, I perform a review of literature to investigate on what mastery-based grading is. Mastery-based grading is a grading system where students earn a grade by mastering objectives through multiple attempts on assessments. It started out in secondary schools during the time in which the No Child Left Behind Act and the Common Core standards were instituted in the education system. The intention was for students to attain proficiency within the subjects of learning. Educators and researchers have argued that the current grading system or the traditional base grading system does not factor the students' learning at different paces and that most students need more than one attempt on an examination to demonstrate understanding of the material. As a result, mastery-based grading was designed as a response to the issues of traditional based grading. You may be familiar with these issues. Studies have shown that students in traditional based grading courses suffer an increase of anxiety and stress, placing more extrinsic motivation over intrinsic motivations, which means think of it as getting a good grade on a test for the satisfactory of a good grade, an intrinsic reward, rather than getting a good grade on a test to attain personal growth, an intrinsic reward. Other issues include a tendency to break academic integrity, such as cheating on an examination to get a good grade, and the reliance on grading on the curve, where students are placed in competition with each other. Higher grades are not rewarded for their efforts, rather than used as a scale comparison with the lower grades who are given a higher grade than their actual scores. Indeed, these issues are not only common in secondary schools, but the college level as well. Mastery-based grading has developed its way onto the college level, mostly in undergraduate introductory courses or remedial courses. The intention of this grading system is to shift the learning experience from a group-oriented focus to an individual-oriented focus. What do I mean by this? Well, a common practice in traditional grading classroom. The entire class takes a test, receives a grade from the test, and moves on to the new material, often without the opportunity to fix the mistakes from the exams, instead rewarded with partial credit. With mastery-based grading, students take the assessments to master an objective or the material in which they are being tested on. If they do not get the objective correct for the first time, the students can reflect on their mistakes and correct their mistakes on another attempt on a separate occasion. Which studies have shown these separate occasions include office hours or the next assessment date. Here at WVU, mastery-based grading has been implemented in Calculus 1 through 4 courses and an Introduction to Proofs course. The question is, how mastery-based grading impacted the learning experience in mathematics education? This study would open future discussions among faculty on whether to pursue mastery-based grading as a new form of grading system for WVU mathematics courses such as college algebra or college trigonometry. It could potentially lead to improving students' learning experience within their mathematics education. Thus, to investigate on the impact, the focus of my study is on the perspectives and the perceptions of students and professors on the implementation of mastery-based grading. With students, we are interested in what students feel and think of mastery-based grading. With professors, we are interested in how mastery-based grading compares to traditional-based grading in areas such as students' performance and grading curriculum. As we demonstrate right here, a syllabus on mastery-based grading for an introduction to proofs course, the numbers represent the number of objectives to attain to earn a grade. For example, in order to attain the grade of a C, you need to attain 14 objectives for proof portfolio, 8 for proof writing workshops, 5 for concept checks, 11 proof writing outcomes by the end of the semester to attain that C. The method we use to receive these perceptions are online surveys and Zoom interviews. 300 students were each out to participate in an online survey asking for their general opinion. In addition, students were asked whether they want to participate over a Zoom interview for specifications on their experience. These specifications can include non-academical experience. So for example, how does mastery-based grading influence with a bad test day, which is a common issue where students don't perform well on an exam due to an outside of the classroom problem. Thus, we will conduct the Zoom interviews with the students who want to provide further input. On the other hand, there's only 6 known WVU mathematics professors who implemented mastery-based grading on their courses. Thus, these professors will be directly asked questions of their experience through a Zoom interview. Since the interviews will be conducted over Zoom, the subtitles options will be used to produce a manuscript. The manuscript will be used for data analysis, looking for specific trends and common responses. Now, we are currently still collecting survey responses from students and have yet to conduct interviews with professors or students. However, with the given survey responses so far, students have shown to like mastery-based grading. Preliminary studies have shown that mastery-based grading students tend to have a positive outlook on the system. Reasons include the multiple attempts in assessments and control over their education. Students feel that they can coordinate with the learning objectives individually rather than pacing as a single group. Thus, our survey response have been consistent with what preliminary studies have demonstrated, producing only a few outliers that does not like mastery-based grading. Some response includes notable idea on how the professor presented mastery-based grading at the beginning of the semester. Preliminary studies have discussed that preparation and presentation was crucial on maintaining the consistency of the system throughout the semester. Highlight emphasis such as constant encouragement to students, because students may feel overwhelmed at first hand at the beginning of the semester because of the structure of the system, and a constant adjustment of the system each semester, such as adjusting the number of objectives, are keys to the consistency of the system. This is among the important questions to address when interviewing the professors. In conclusion, the current flow of data coming in remains consistent with the preliminary studies. Thus, the data has the potential to demonstrate the positive outlook of students with mastery-based grading and the ongoing individual adjustment of the course curriculum for professors. However, given that not all data has been collected and analyzed, there is no definitive conclusion to the study, but rather early observations. Further investigations will continue. We will continue to await student survey responses. Once we receive a quantity number of responses, we will analyze trends by the students' responses, in particular on the liking or disliking of mastery-based grading, where it produces a positive outlook from the students. We'll address new questions in the Zoom interviews based on the trends of the online survey responses. To conclude, mastery-based grading is the next level of our grading system, focusing on the mastery of a student's understanding of what they are learning. Here are my references. Thank you for your time and consideration. Have a wonderful day. Any questions?